The prenatal environment exerts profound influence on fetal neurodevelopment, with maternal dietary patterns serving as critical modifiable factors. Recent cohort evidence examining maternal sugar-sweetened beverage consumption during pregnancy reveals troubling associations with child cognitive and behavioral outcomes that warrant serious consideration from expectant mothers and healthcare providers. Multiple longitudinal studies tracking mother-child pairs have documented correlations between frequent maternal SSB intake and subsequent attention problems in offspring. Research published in pediatric neurology journals demonstrates that children whose mothers consumed 2 or more sugary drinks daily during pregnancy exhibited elevated rates of attention deficit symptoms, reduced impulse control, and lower performance on sustained attention tasks compared to children of mothers who avoided such beverages. These associations persist even after statistical adjustment for socioeconomic factors, maternal education, and postnatal dietary patterns, suggesting genuine prenatal effects rather than mere confounding. The biological mechanisms underlying these observations involve multiple pathways. High maternal glucose levels cross the placenta freely, exposing the developing fetal brain to metabolic conditions that may alter neuronal differentiation and circuit formation. Animal studies demonstrate that maternal hyperglycemia during critical developmental windows disrupts dopaminergic and serotonergic neurotransmitter systems in offspring brains, systems intimately involved in attention regulation and behavioral control. Additionally, maternal insulin resistance, exacerbated by frequent liquid sugar consumption, triggers inflammatory responses that may impact fetal brain development through cytokine signaling. Obstetricians increasingly recognize these risks in prenatal counseling. Current guidance emphasizes that pregnancy represents a uniquely vulnerable period where maternal dietary choices directly shape fetal outcomes. While occasional sugary beverage consumption likely poses minimal risk, habitual intake creates sustained metabolic perturbations during precisely the developmental stages when fetal brain architecture is being established. The second trimester, when neuronal proliferation and migration occur most rapidly, appears particularly sensitive to metabolic disruption. Importantly, these findings should not induce excessive anxiety in expectant mothers, but rather inform reasonable precautionary measures. The dose-response relationship observed in cohort data suggests that risk increases with consumption frequency and volume. Pregnant women consuming 1 or fewer sugary drinks per week show minimal associations with adverse outcomes, while daily or multiple daily consumption correlates with substantially elevated risk. Practical recommendations emerging from this evidence emphasize beverage substitution rather than complete dietary overhaul. Replacing sugary drinks with water, unsweetened beverages, or drinks naturally flavored with fruit slices provides hydration without metabolic disruption. Healthcare providers can support expectant mothers by discussing these findings during routine prenatal visits, framing the guidance positively around optimal fetal brain development rather than fear-based messaging about harm. The evidence base continues strengthening as more refined cohort studies with detailed dietary assessments and comprehensive child neurodevelopmental testing emerge. While acknowledging that maternal SSB consumption represents one factor among many influencing child outcomes, the modifiable nature of this exposure makes it a rational target for prenatal health optimization.